The conflict at the ancient city finally reached its end, and the scene swiftly moves into the abyss. Abyssal flames flicker slowly, twisting and curling as several demon lords emerge from the blaze. Their appearance is markedly improved, clearly signaling to everyone that they've fully healed. The Shadow Demon Lord steps forward, expressing some regret over their failure to kill Lynn. Yet the Demon Emperor shows no anger. Instead, he calmly acknowledges their efforts and further mentions how Lynn escaped into the ancient city and even took control of the Thunder Tower. So it's understandable why they failed to eliminate Lynn. At that, the Fire Spirit Demon Lord drops to a knee, slamming his fist into the earth, and declares they will seek another chance and definitely follow the Emperor's orders next time. The Demon Emperor casually waves them off, telling them to depart. And just like that, they all bow and exit. After their leave, the Demon Emperor strokes his chin thoughtfully, clearly intrigued by how Lynn at merely level 53 could wield divine slaying thunder. Then, a sudden idea strikes him, wondering if Lynn might have inherited the Thunder God's legacy. Meanwhile, the scene quickly shifts back to Lynn. Fun advises him to remain inside the ancient city for several days. With the Thunder Tower guarding him, no one will dare touch his primordial rune anymore. Lynn agrees with a nod, admitting that without the ancient city's aid, this time survival would have been impossible. 10 days fly by in a flash. Suddenly, within Lynn's chamber, a burst of red light erupts, cutting through the windows and illuminating the entire city. Instantly, the system notifies him he has gained a new skill called Overcharge. This skill lets him draw power from a chosen, summoned creature, inherit all its abilities, and absorb part of its attributes for 5 minutes with a cooldown period of 1 hour. After studying the details carefully, Lynn finds it tough to gauge the real strength of the skill. Still envisioning wielding the Skelly's powers himself, he wastes no time launching into the sky, eager to test it out. Watching him depart the ancient city, everyone realizes Lynn has successfully completed the fusion of his primordial rune. Fun remarks in awe, noting that at such a young age, Lynn already holds 2 primordial runes, possibly the only one ever to achieve this. Lynn flies far ahead before spotting a small pack of monsters nearby. He lands slowly as the monsters growl softly. Calm and composed, he summons several small skeletons and draws his scythe. Without pause, he activates Overcharge. A radiant glow surrounds him. Moments later, the skeletons behind him start to vanish. Strange symbols appear on Lynn's face, and all 4 core attributes surge to 200,000 each. Even Lynn is amazed. Power courses through his frame, and he notes that his current stats, no exaggeration, surpass those of a world boss at the same level. Suddenly, a monster lunges at him. The feline was a level 70 world boss. Its stats aren't extraordinary, but still total nearly 2 million. Lynn lifts his scythe with a casual tone, saying, "It's a bit weak, but perfect for testing." Just like that, he unleashes the skeletal berserker's rampage annihilation. The scythe slices through the boss like warm butter, cutting its body cleanly in two. Lynn can hardly believe it himself. While overcharged, he just took down a level 70 boss instantly in melee combat. What's more, it's hard to imagine how frightening his damage might get if he stacks it with the mighty soldier buff. The only downside he notes is that both skills still last for far too short a time. Moving on to the second skill, Lynn raises his scythe and triggers Elemental Explosion. A deafening blast erupts instantly, carving out a huge crater in the ground. But Lynn isn't stopping there. Meanwhile, he casually pulls out a random bow from his storage and activates Sharpshooter's skill, Soul Lock. Since it guarantees a hit, hitting a distant monster is no surprise. What catches him off guard is the immense power behind the shot. The arrow pierces straight through a monster's body, making Lynn grin uncontrollably. Suddenly, he feels deeply connected to his skeletons. Then, an even more exciting idea hits him. He realizes he might be able to inherit the Lich General's skills. If it works like he hopes, he could not only apply powerful buffs, but also cure corpse poison entirely. The thought alone fills him with energy. He leaps into the air, convinced this could actually work. He reflects on this skill's potential, believing it's far bigger than anything he'd imagined. In fact, he's certain it has a much higher ceiling. To push its limits, he decides to visit the secret realm again. Debris from the destroyed fortress still litters the entrance. Lynn takes a deep breath and steps inside slowly. Inside, endless towering mountains stretch out before him. Without hesitation, he flies up, searching for whatever secret the dragon was guarding here. Soon, he spots a small fortress in the distance and descends carefully. The moment his feet touch down, the fortress shakes violently. Suddenly, a massive formation appears in the sky, and he senses danger, immediately rushing to summon all his skeletons. Moments later, a fierce explosion sends Lynn and his skeletons flying. The blast is so fierce, even his skeletal armor can't stand it. Lynn instantly knows he let his guard down and admits he didn't expect the dragon to hide a self-destruct trap here. Without hesitation, he takes to the air again, knowing the formation must be destroyed first. But just then, the nearby pond bubbles fiercely. In the next moment, a gigantic serpent bursts out and lunges at him. Lynn casts Detection Spell, revealing it's a level 80 Iron Scale Python. Lynn dodges easily, but had heard stories of this creature before. It's said to be native to the dragon world, so he's surprised dragons managed to tame one. Plus, an Iron Scale Python at this level is extremely rare. Clearly, this secret realm is far more dangerous and fascinating than he first imagined. After missing his strike, the massive python slips silently back into the water. Lynn glances down once more and finally spots countless dark shapes shifting beneath the surface. Clearly, more than one beast is lurking underwater. This only strengthens his belief. The hidden secret the dragon guards must be in these waters. But first he knows the formation has to go. Lynn instantly activates Overcharge and rushes toward a huge crystal. He swings his scythe with force, splitting it neatly in two in a flash. Sadly, too many crystals remain and going solo is too slow, so he quickly commands the small skeletons to assist. Soon, every floating crystal shatters completely. Just as he finishes, Lynn catches a glimpse from the corner of his eye. A rupture tears open in the sky, identical to the one the Demon Emperor made before. Before he reacts, a hand emerges from the crack, followed by two figures stepping through. Seeing their faces, Lynn finally eases up, noting they have at last arrived. Meanwhile, the Iron Scale Python slinks over to the two dragons, flicking its tongue and pressing close to the dragon commander with a pained look. The commander gently strokes the python's jaw, making it even more affectionate. Then the other dragon steps forward and confirms that the figure before them is indeed Lynn. He introduces himself as Tatar, an ancestral bloodline awakened dragon warrior at level 80. Shortly after, the dragon commander, who earlier fled from Lynn, also introduces himself as Tashel, a dragon ancestral bloodline awakened knight level 75. Lynn smirks and asks why a defeated foe dares to confront him again. Tashel shrugs, saying, "One loss means nothing," adding that slicing through the enemy to come back is what counts. He admits even their formation couldn't kill Lynn, which just proves how formidable Lynn truly is. Still, he claims he and his brother enjoy nothing more than slaying prodigies, especially human prodigies. Tatar then chimes in, vowing to turn Lynn's head into a trophy to wear on his chest forever, a constant token of his own power. He pulls his sword as his aura flares fiercely outward. At the same time, the Iron Scale Python coils around him, poised to strike at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, Tatar steps onto the python's head. His weapon begins to glow as he calmly declares that out of respect he will kill Lynn with his utmost power. Immediately, Tatar activates his Ancestral Awakening skill. Both his body and the python beneath start to morph. Simultaneously, a colossal dragon phantom rises into the air. Lynn's expression shifts as he realizes Tatar's ancestral power is entirely different from Tashel's. Moreover, compared to dragons like Antares, this dragon phantom doesn't look like any ordinary dragon in this world at all. Instead, it strikingly resembles the Eastern divine dragons Lynn recalls from Earth. He frantically attempts to connect everything from ancient runes to the dragon's lineage, and can't shake the feeling that this world might secretly link to Earth after all. But Tatar mistakes Lynn's stunned silence for fear. He bursts out laughing and asks if Lynn's totally freaked out. Proudly, he says the phantom is their dragon's forefather, and boasts that one day he'll return fully to his roots and become a genuine divine dragon. With a deafening roar, Tatar lunges at Lynn, swinging his weapon with all his might. Lynn snaps out of his daze and tackles the attack head-on. His scythe clashes sharply with Tatar's weapon, but Lynn feels zero strain. It's soon obvious that in his supercharged state, he can easily handle foes of this caliber. Tatar breaks into wild laughter, calls Lynn a mere human brat, and claims he's as good as dead. Tasha isn't far behind. He rushes in and tells his brother that he's joining the fight, but Tatar cuts him off right away, insisting he'll take down Lynn alone. With that, Tatar swings again, this time sending Lynn sliding backward through the air. Lynn instantly strikes back with a skeletal prison. Bone shackles shoot out immediately, closing in on Tatar from every side. Tatar just smirks arrogantly, saying a few bones won't be enough to confine him.